What's up, guys? I just got done with my first job of the day, but while I was doing that, had a comment come through. One of the viewers was asking to maybe see a walkthrough of the new van setup. I want to show you guys what we have here, so let's take a look. Okay, so I went with the Chief. I got it from Truck Mounts and Cleaning Solutions. I had a wonderful experience with them. I dealt with Michael. He is the manager down there. And I also met the founder, which is his father, and his mother, who's in charge of accounting. And so that just really resonated with me because I'm the exact same way. You know, when I had my moving company, my wife, she ran the office, dealt with accounting, payroll, all that stuff. And, you know, I had my son working for me, had my daughter working for me at one point. You know, family is everything to me. That's why I go so hard. So anytime I can connect with a business like that, I'm all in because family is everything. The reason I decided to go with the Chief is because it's simple. You know, I'm not very mechanically inclined. I'll be honest, I was originally going to go with the Apex 570. That's what I had my heart set on. But the reason I didn't is because I was going to John Don to get some supplies, and they had a sign on the door said they closed down. I'm like, what? It's just out of the blue, man. Come on, man. And so I've been dealing with the manager there, and I was saving up my money. I was close to having all the money. I was super excited because that thing is just a beast. I'm like, yeah, and get this 570. But then they closed down. I'm like, who am I going to get to service the thing? I still don't know who I'm going to get to service it, this Chief, but it's just not as complex as the 570. Michael, he told me that I need to change the oil every 50 hours. He says he tells people 50 hours and most people do it every 100 hours. I'm doing it every 50 hours and it's pretty simple. I'm gonna do it myself. Just to have this drain plug here and the filter's right there. So that's something I can actually handle. He said I need to change the oil on the blower and the pump at 500 hours. Then he said after that, it goes to every 2,000 hours. One thing I noticed immediately is just the increase in expenses. Obviously, I'm using a lot more fuel. I'm having to fuel up every day. I'm going through propane. This thing has a propane, basically a mini water heater. But this thing works. I'm going to call this thing Musa. That's what I'm calling my truck mounts, Musa. That's Arabic for Moses, because it'd be parting that dirt like the Red Sea. So this is affectionately Musa the Chief. So we got the chemical here, regulator, pump. I'm already at 31 hours. This is like the second week, so it's almost time for the oil change already. They put a 100-gallon freshwater tank. I have the 100-gallon wastewater tank here. What else did they do? Oh yeah, I paid for them to do this lining. This lining is awesome. This lining will probably outlast the van. This stuff, it'll like scrape your skin off it's just so rugged. And so I wanted to make sure it didn't rust out. I'm already getting acid rinse on it, but this thing is pretty much indestructible. So that's exactly what I wanted. As far as the back, I had them put in a shelf for all chemicals and stuff. You have to forgive it, it's kind of junky. So this is all I have as far as storage space. And it's not the best. I'm working on that. I'll get around to it. But here's my rack with all the chemicals and stuff. I put my CRB here. And my CRB, what is this thing, about maybe 6 years old? And it's not looking the best, but it still works. So it stopped working maybe 4 or 5 months ago and identified that it was I don't know if you call it the circuit breaker or whatever that button is on the side. So I took it apart trying to save some money. And some of the bolts, a couple of them broke off. So my plate was loose, but it still works. But at some point I'll need to get another one. That's about $2,800 or something like that. Then I have my rake over here. I bought one of those door things. To be honest, I haven't been using it because I'm still getting used to the setup. For 10 years, I've been using that portable 25 feet of hose is so easy to manage. That is the one thing I am not really liking so much about the truck mount, just dealing with these hoses. But that's small. That's small. I'll deal with it. But it's just these hoses have been getting on my nerves. And I get why people use two people or have a helper. I'm gonna have to do that myself because I'm sick of these things already. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about. The customer just came out. I was waiting on her because she had a Zoom call. She works from home. And so she just came and paid me. So that was good. But I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, this is the layout. If I did have to use a portable, I'd have to fit it in there somewhere. Line to fill up the tank. What else do I have in here? I bought a fire extinguisher in case a fire starts. We have this flame going, which gets pretty intense when it first starts. Flame down there. And this is where I drain the wastewater. I have a hose. Already melted the hose somewhat on this exhaust. This exhaust gets so super hot, and I actually burned myself. And you'll see on some of the videos, I'm going to be having a bandage. It's kind of healed up a little bit now, but I was going to drain the hot water, and my arm went up next to it. So I'm going to have to remember that. It says hot surface, do not touch, obviously. But that hurt so bad, man. It was hurting. I was putting Neosporin on it, but it's doing a lot better now. So, but it won't happen again, I assure you. So I'm actually about to dump what I just did. We had Berber carpet today. So I usually do that in the sewer drain, which is about 100 feet down. So I'll do that. Put my rinse in here. Got the battery back there. Yeah, I'm grateful, man. It took 10 years. At first, I wasn't really focused primarily on carpet cleaning, but I just got to a point in my life where I didn't want to deal with all the employees. And so now it's just me and my sons, keeping it lean. There are companies out there with 20 trucks, 30 trucks, multiple trucks, whatever works for you, whatever keeps you at peace. And for me, I got to a point where it's not all about money. I just want peace. I want to come home. I want to relax. I want peace of mind. That's it. Because I don't have much time here on this earth, and I'm trying to set my children up, trying to show them everything that I've learned the hard way and just make it so that they don't have to depend on anybody. I want to be a creator. I want to create opportunities. I want to help other people. If anybody's out there needs help on getting leads, that is what I specialize in. Technically, I realize that there are people out there that are far more advanced on the technical skills, but that's not my goal. I'm not trying to be the #1 carpet cleaner. I'm trying to be the #1 marketer. Everything I do, 7 days a week, I'm working on how do I make my marketing even more effective? How do I refine my messaging? How do I connect with people on an emotional level? That's how companies grow, all right? Some people, especially starting out, are too focused on the technical aspect. Now, I'm not talking about you can never do crappy work, but shift your focus from technical to marketing. That is your #1 job. You're a marketer that just happens to clean carpet. So that's what I am. That's what I'm on. I'm grateful. I'm getting busy out here. Thank you for watching the videos. We'll see you soon.